Welcome to Sweet Tea Channeling. I'm Debbie Pokornik, and as always, with me is my wonderful friend and our gifted channeler, Susan Hoskins. Today's episode is a sweet tea treat, where we take a nugget from a previous channeling and play with it in the stream of consciousness to see what new pictures might arise. We like to think of it as an incredible kaleidoscope of bouncing balls, changing shape and color as we go. As we do this, we are raising our vibration, remembering parts of ourselves that we might have lost touch with, and perhaps most importantly, helping to create a reality right here, right now, that is filled with kindness, compassion, abundance, and delight. A place we refer to as Hoomadhi. We have already opened sacred space for all of us and just want to remind you to take a moment to center and ground yourself, and then call in your own spirit guides to assist you in pulling out whatever is most relevant to you in the moment. All right, today's nugget is from the channeling posted January 20th, 2024. The ascension process means rising up. It means raising your frequency and vibration to entirely new levels, where communicating with us and with all of creation becomes not only easier, but so much more exciting and natural. So, my sweet friend, what does that make you think of?
Oh, it just feels like a very gentle rising into new awarenesses, new adventures. It's ironic when we go deeper inside of us, we have the opportunity to rise up even higher. And that makes so many things possible.
It does. I find it really interesting because you and I talk a lot about work that we do to raise our frequency and how different it feels that moment something happens that kind of pulls us down. And so I find this really an amazing topic because it's the idea of ascending to me means raising, I guess, maybe to the consistency, not necessarily to a level where you can actually comfortably stay there or above always. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And I know that I struggled at first with the thought, well, how do I raise my vibration? What does that mean? I don't have a radio dial.
Mm.
But then, as you and I have talked often, it's you do it naturally by enjoying nature or feeling the sun or doing what gives you joy. It's just you grab onto that feeling that makes you feel better, that makes you feel happy and peaceful. And the more you do that, the more you want to do that. The more you don't want to tolerate not being in that wonderful state where you feel darn good. And in so doing, I think we open ourselves up to receive more and more guidance and experience more and more of that which we're seeking to create, heaven on earth.
Mm. Yes, I love that you said that, because I think too, it also sets us up to always reach for that one better feeling. And that includes when we're dealing with other people and or we're seeing something that maybe doesn't feel great to us,
Mhm.
right? Always reaching for, maybe it's more compassion in that moment, or empathy in that moment, or maybe it's simply remembering to send out that golden cord, right,
Right.
to their heart. So,
Right. And we've been tasked in living in Hoomadhi to create heaven on earth. And for me, what that means is more and more living in this consciousness every single day because it just feels so good and it makes you happy and it draws good people to you and it allows you to put out your best to others. And I know that sounds pretty airy-fairy, but I know for me that I can really feel now, and it doesn't feel good when I dropped out of Hoomadhi and get back into the old ways of being angry, being mad, wanting to quarrel or fight. It just doesn't feel good anymore. It feels so much better to raise up and tune into the frequency and keep it there.
Mhm. I think that we need to make that little shift to where we're recognizing that these things that we call airy fairy as if it's somehow bad or wrong, that we're fully embracing that. So any fairy people who
Mhm.
happen to be with us, we love you. And
Yeah.
it's and that is even here, I think, in this message, right? That it's going to become so much easier and natural to communicate and with all. And I think when we talk about things and maybe we suggest that they're a little woo-woo, they're a little out there, what we're really saying is we all want to be able to stretch ourselves and our mind to start embracing these pieces that actually are probably far more real than we ever thought they were, because we've been taught to think that they really are out there and weird and strange and all of that. And I feel like in Hoomadhi, we're saying, hey, we're embracing you wherever you're from, whatever planet you're from, wherever.
I love what you just said because I'm remembering we've been invited on this supersonic mission to create a new reality, which other people might have thought was woo-woo at the time, but it's really is real because the old way of polarity, fighting, anger, hatred, division is not working. It's falling apart. We're not intended to fix it. We're intended to rise up out of it, to create a brand new way of living that feels a whole lot better.
Yes. And I think to do that, we have to really be able to embrace who we are
Right?
and even challenge some of our beliefs about what is okay or what is
Right.
not, and what we're willing to accept and live in. And I feel like in Hoomadhi, we won't have to make those decisions because we'll already be in contact with all other beings that are vibrating at that higher frequency that is being referred to in this quote. But here, right now, it's still around us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
love it. Love it. Ready to join us live on these calls? Send us an email at info.hoomadhi, that's HOOMADHI @gmail.com. We'd love to have you play with us.